Thank you for being here with us today. We were hoping you would tell us a little bit about your experiences as a sleep apnea patient.
Well, first of all, hello, and let me tell you that you're quite right. I have resisted the sleep apnea for a number of years, for 5 years. When I say resisted the sleep apnea, it's resisted doing anything about it. So for me, it was a very difficult thing initially to accept the fact that I had a problem with breathing. But it was clear that I did. And after the tests, what to do about it, I considered naturally the subject of surgery or some medications. But the most practical and simplest way of dealing with it was to have the CPAP machine, the pump, a small one, and of course the masks that come along with it. And eventually I decided to begin the therapy, which involved applying the mask to my face prior to sleeping and hooking it up, of course, before that to the pump.
What was your day like after CPAP?
The first day or two, I was self-conscious and it was a bit discomforting just to have something on your face, but eventually, after 2 or 3 days, I didn't notice it. And once I started, remarkably, the sleep was sound, was clear, I woke up refreshed, and I no longer started to fall off behind the wheel, nor whilst I was talking or lecturing.
And you're a tour director.
Yes, I travel around all over the world and I talk to groups of people, so my speech and my attention has to be top, otherwise if I drift off, so will everybody else. And this is dangerous, can you imagine if you're driving? So for various reasons, it's important to get good sleep. And obviously there's a medical benefit as well, but the most important thing, the practical side of it, for me, the transition was easy. Now I cannot sleep without it. Even if I probably don't need it, I would still go ahead and use it because I think it enhances the quality of sleep. Blocks out the sound, well, not entirely, but mostly. You don't hear the noise, you don't snore. There's a constant pressure of air coming in. It might vary a little bit according to how you move around, and you get used to it, and you have deep sleep, which is the ideal, and you wake up completely refreshed, ready for action, ready to go to battle.
You're a tour guide. How are you able to use CPAP when you travel?
Well, when you're at home, it's easy. You just have the small pump by the side of your bed, and everything is all secure, and then you just do some minimal things just to keep it maintained, and put the water in for humidify and all the technical stuff. But when you're on the road, of which I am, 6 months of the year, living out of hotels, then there are some minor challenges, which not really challenges as such, because they could be challenges if you don't anticipate. For example, in hotel rooms, not everywhere you will find a socket in the wall close to the bed, so you'd have to make sure you have an extension lead. And then, of course, if the electricity fails, you need to have a backup plan, because you're relying on electricity. Then, of course, the subject about water and humidity. Some areas the humidity is high. Obviously, if you're in Florida, it's very humid there. Some areas in the desert, the humidity is very low. So you'd have to make sure you use the appropriate amount of water so that you need to have humidity, otherwise you wake up in the morning with a dry mouth and dry throat, which can be very uncomfortable.